Why does writing your first draft feel so hard? You sit down at your desk, you're ready to write, and you're met with so much resistance. Maybe you're afraid that your idea is gonna fall flat, you're upset that your sentences are so terrible, or maybe you feel like you're just not cut out for this whole novel writing thing. I am speaking from experience. I have felt all these things with all my first novel draft attempts, and I have even wondered if my story is worth finishing. But now that I'm on the other side, I'm here to tell you that you're not broken, your draft is not broken, you're just entering one of the most difficult parts of the creative process that maybe no one has prepared you for. So today I want to walk you through why your first draft feels so hard, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So I'm not here to tell you that you need to write your draft in a very specific amount of time, but I can tell you that writing faster is better. And here's why. This is your first draft, which means you don't know everything that's going to happen, which means you're discovering things, which means you're still finding the plot, you're still learning who your characters are. So every time you step away and then you come back, you have to continually reorientate yourself into the story. You have to keep trying to tap into your voice, you have to remember the tone, you have to get back into the emotion. And the longer you put that off, the harder it is to get back into it. The constant re-entry can just make this already difficult process even harder. So here's my fix. Give yourself a container. Let that be 3 months or maybe 6 months. Something that's attainable to you so that you're not killing yourself writing this draft. But the shorter the window, the better. Not only will writing in this short window help you to keep the story alive, it's gonna allow the story to be in your brain all the time. Whenever you have free moments to daydream or think, maybe when you're going on a walk or driving in your car, you're going to be thinking about the story so much more. So you say you wanna write, but then that writing time disappears. Maybe you're answering emails, or you're doing extra work, or you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. Writing requires time, and it also requires mental space. If you're constantly clogging up your brain with TikTok or Instagram or any other kind of entertainment, you're never gonna allow yourself to be able to daydream about your book. And you're never gonna allow that space that you need to write. You can't access that deep creativity if your brain is always somewhere else. So writing a book is more than just showing up on the page. It's about making space in your life and in your brain. So my fix for that is be intentional and protect your writing time. Even if it's just once a week, make an appointment with yourself that you're going to keep. You're not gonna scroll, you're not gonna find other little chores or things to distract yourself. This is your writing time, and you're gonna make it a priority in your life. Trust me, your best ideas come when you allow yourself to be quiet, when you allow space in your brain. We are just bombarded all the time with our phones, and that's why I keep using this as an example, because I'm pretty sure that's what makes most people get the most distracted. And if we're never quiet, we're not going to be able to access that creative part of ourselves, and we're going to miss ideas that we can add to our drafts. So be intentional about your writing time during this drafting phase and prioritize it in your life wherever you can. So I hate to break it to you, you can't discover your story and have it be perfect at the same time. Drafting and editing use two different parts of your brain, and I think when you try to use them at the same time, they just end up clashing. A first draft is the exact opposite of perfection. It is supposed to be messy. It is about you being playful on the page and having no idea what's going to happen next. Maybe you do know some plot points, but I'm willing to bet that you don't know the majority of them. Or you just want to be open to discovering what could happen. So if you're editing at the same time, I think that you're not only slowing yourself down, but you're also blocking those possibilities. Trust me, you are going to have to edit this book more times than you want to count. So in this first draft, be intentional about not being in that editor mode. This is not the final version. This is so far from it. This is the messy part, and that's the point. So this is a big one for why your draft feels so difficult, is you're putting this added pressure on yourself that you need to know everything before you begin. And I get it. You're going to be spending hours and months and years of your life writing this thing. And so it feels really intimidating to stare at a blank page and not have any idea of where it's going to go, or only have little bits and pieces of what you think this story will be about. But in a first draft, you're not supposed to know everything yet. That's the whole point of writing it, is to find it out. So a quick fix that you can add to your life now while you're drafting to make it less hard is replace "I need to know" with "I'm curious to find out." I think embodying curiosity just opens you up to so much creativity, and it also allows you to be so much less rigid with yourself and your process. So let go of the need to know everything and embrace the fact that in your first draft, it is so normal not to know everything, and you're gonna find out a lot of really exciting things along the way that you aren't even thinking about right now. You thought writing a book was going to be a magical experience, and I'm so sorry, but sometimes it's a grind. Writing a novel is about showing up when you're tired, writing scenes that don't work or don't make sense or that you're going to end up cutting later, and wondering how to get the book that you're imagining in your brain onto the page. And so often our expectation is not meeting our reality, and that just adds a whole nother level of difficulty to getting this first draft out. So a way to fix this for yourself is just to redefine what success means to you. Finishing one messy page is a win. Writing through the discomfort is another win. Allow yourself to let go of the expectations you feel for yourself, either in the process or on the page. Very rarely do our expectations ever match anything in reality in our life, and I think that especially goes for our writing life and for our art. So to make this first draft experience a little lighter, let go of all that rigidity and let go of what you think this process is supposed to look like, because again, you're discovering it as you write it. This is something I feel like I learned the hard way, but now it's one of my favorite pieces of advice. Writing is one long act of faith, and it's about building trust within yourself. You're building something that you don't even know what it will be yet, one sentence at a time, one page at a time. It's really scary sometimes to not know where something's going, to put all of this time and creative energy and effort, and to not know if you're gonna have to cut that page in your next revision or delete that character or what's going to happen. But I think that if you internalize and trust in your own creativity and yourself, that clarity will come through the mess, it makes this stage so much more bearable. Your only job right now in this first draft is to show up and to be curious and to trust your intuition. And when I say that, I mean if you have an idea, if you're scared to write that idea or that character or that line of dialogue, if you feel uncomfortable, or if you feel like a little shy about what your brain is coming up with, just put everything out on the page. Again, this first draft is supposed to be messy. And I think that if we keep building that trust with ourselves and keep saying okay to the ideas that come into our brain instead of completely second guessing them or pushing them away entirely, it just continues to build and build until you can come to the page every day with just a little bit more confidence that you're gonna figure out this story, that you're gonna understand where it's going, and that confidence will also guide you through the multiple revisions that you're going to inevitably have to make with this book. So trust your draft and trust yourself. So I hope this breakdown made writing a first draft feel a little more attainable, a little less scary. As we talked about, it's all part of the process. We've all been there. Everyone who's written a book, any novel that you're reading right now that's already published that you love, it started with a first draft, it started with uncertainty, and it started very messy. And I think that if you have the desire to write, that it feels like your calling, you should pursue it. And maybe that means fumbling through this process, but at the end of the day, you get to say that you wrote a novel. And yes, it's a messy one, and yes, it has plot holes, and yes, it's just a first draft, but it's a novel nonetheless. And if you want more support in this process, my waitlist is currently open for the Wild Draft, which is my 6-month novel cohort. It's a program where I guide writers through their messy first draft, and we finish it within 6 months through accountability, through community, through craft lessons, and getting through that mess together. So if you're interested, the wait list is filling up and enrollment will open in November, so you can add your name to that through the link below. And if you're interested in more first draft novel writing tips, I have this video here, so I'll see you over there or in my next one. Bye.